I grew up believing the world was a theater and each day a new opening night. I often espouse the notion that perception is reality, but the true reality is that life changes. The truth is, life changes as quickly as the roles of predator and prey.
You and I shine like diamonds, separate souls from the mold of man, bound by trust in what we believe in, bound by faith in the promised land. We all need a little shove from time to time, just a little push when we fall behind. It feels so close from where I stand. It's one more mile to the promised land.
Hi, I'm Gary Morrison. Welcome to the North American Sportsman. Wilford Brimley has been a friend of mine for over 40 years. He's recently departed this earth. He went with me to Argentina. We had the most fun you can imagine. Everything from a drunk cow to a mad mountain lion to a really, really tough red stag. You'll see it all right here on the North American Sportsman. Stay with us.
Today, actor Wilford Brimley joins me on the wide open pampas of Argentina, hunting mountain lion and wild Russian boar. Stay tuned for great outdoor action and a taste of Argentina you'll never forget.
During the last 3 seasons on the North American Sportsman, it's been one of my primary goals to show the proper usage of our natural resources, to show that we both must take as well as give to nature. We who are outdoorsmen must be responsible users of our resources so that our children will be able to share the same glorious times in the woods that we share. We all have the privilege of the outdoors, and with that privilege comes responsibility. The responsibility of nurturing wildlife and habitat. To this end, the North American Sportsman, along with Freeport-McMoran, will present a weekly feature on wildlife, habitat, or conservation. Today on our season's first episode, we present a feature on the mountain lion. This magnificent cat ranges the mountains, deserts, and jungles from British Columbia to Patagonia, South America. A large, graceful predator, the puma as it is called south of the equator, hunts deer and smaller prey animals. It is protected in much of North America and generally lives as far away from civilization as possible. Several recent attacks on humans in the West have raised questions about current protectionist policies. On the western pampas of Argentina, there is no ambivalence about the hunting of puma. This magnificent cat has all but eliminated ostrich, rabbit, and some bird populations. Exploding numbers of puma have also weakened a once healthy sheep industry in the Puerto Blanca backcountry. Hunting puma is both legal and necessary. My friend Wilford Brimley recently joined me in the Patagonian desert where we stalked a big cat and chased a Russian wild boar.
Even before I met Wilford, I had a gut feeling we'd hit it off. I mean, there's a way a man carries himself, a look in his eye that implies trust and candor, and those are qualities I admire. I knew right away he'd spent many nights alone, high up in the mountains, and I knew he wasn't a stranger to riding a fence line, collar up, wide brim hat bent to an icy wind. When I finally did get to meet him, I found I was right. Wilford is as genuine as a schoolgirl's first kiss, just not as pretty. He looks you plumb straight in the eye and speaks his mind, whether it's preaching, politics, or pumas. And pumas were what colored our minds as we hopped a plane to Buenos Aires, Argentina recently. This South American country is famous for Evita Peron, its architecture, the tango, and great tasting beef. Since Wilford and I had little time for dancing, we played tourists and ogled the city, then tackled what seemed like a full hind quarter of beef. From Buenos Aires, we drove to Rancho Ferrari near Bahia Blanca. 5,000 head of cattle roam this unfenced 75,000-acre ranch in the Patagonian desert. Our hosts were Pablo and his son Herman Rossi. They soon would become great friends, friends we would never forget. The ranch was sectioned by a warm, swift river that supported a menagerie of fish and other wildlife. The ranch was so remote, a teacher had to be imported for the local children. Much of their free time was spent playing with Mimosa, a calf who also was a connoisseur of fine beers. Calf or no calf, we'd come thousands of miles to hunt wild boar, and the setting sun indicated it was time to hit the brush. Wilford and Pablo paired up, and I went with Herman, who picked a spot where I might have a chance with my bow. Hunting boar at night requires careful preparation. You have to build a blind and put out some grain and other delectables to attract these ferocious 500-pound porkers. Wilford's blind was by a watering hole where Pablo's son had taken a world record boar. Once everything was ready, it was a matter of sitting quietly in the dark for hours and listening. If a boar showed up, you turn on the light, and you have only a second or two to shoot before the beast either raced off or charged. Now, that's if you're lucky. If not, you may just sit up all night till your bones ache. They stayed out. They didn't get in here and eat. These are tonight.
This is tonight. Maybe 1 hour ago. In here. In here.
That's pig.
Yeah, that's a male of about 2 years old.
Yeah.
2 years and a half old.
You can tell it's fresh. Look how it's just dust.
Yeah.
It's dust.
Here is him.
Wow. Was that puma in here tonight?
Yeah, that's a puma. Look. No. He's walking like that.
Uh-huh. Well, you said you thought you heard puma.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. No, he's walking like that.
Uh-huh.
Like that. He's going in this direction. Here, you can see the palm
Uh-huh.
and the fingers.
You make me a tracker before the night's over.
One of the big surprises in our trip to Argentina was, well, I mean, I've never had a pet cow. Do you? A cow that you could take to the bar with you. We had a conversation with a cow that drank half a six-pack, and we're going to show it to you right now.
Moonshine bright, moonshine light up the way that leads me to her door. If you shine tonight, she just might find out what a little moonshine's good for. All day long I've been dreaming how I'm gonna catch her by surprise. All day long I've been scheming. Tonight I'll get the moonshine in her eyes.
Pablo and I slept in after a long, frustrating night of boar hunting, but Wilford and the rest set out mid-morning after puma. They found wild boar tracks near the corrals, but no sign of the big cats, so they drove across the pampas to where the guides had had some earlier encounters.
Now we are going to go in the windmill direction, and in the beginning the bush will be very thick. This is the kind of place that the pumas like to sleep, and what we are going to do now is just leave the dogs alone. They will do all the job, because in some places you can see tracks, and in some places it will be too hard to follow the pumas. We take it off because sometimes the puma catches from here. If you catch the leather, the dog will be safe. If catches in here, it will take the dog and will bite and maybe kill in 1 or 2 seconds. That's why we take them off.
Wilford and Brad followed the trackers in as far as the gorge, then waited to see if they'd uncovered a fresh trail.
What they were talking about last night is that we're going to try to pick up a fresh puma track at a water hole, and the dogs could smell up to 3 hours, and they would put them out there.
Listen, enjoy the view of the desert, good company, good experience. And if a puma appears, so much the better. But without any sign of a puma, it's a beautiful day. And this is truly some of the best cow country I've ever seen. I have to look at ground and try to figure what a cow could do with it, and from looking at the ground and the cows, they do just fine.
Cows look pretty healthy.
Yeah, this is a wonderful, wonderful cow country. And of course, that's...
Well, it doesn't seem like it has enough grass to me.
Oh, there's plenty of grass. Look, right there. Bunch grass all over. Under each one of these plants is a... See all that grass, all that feed? High protein, good feed. Makes a guy wish he was young again and think about coming down here and trying it on. Well, they must not be here because we'll better know. Maybe tomorrow.
Hopefully our luck would change. We didn't travel this far just to admire the scenery, although the scenery was great. Our hosts were planning a big Argentine asado, or barbecue, and it was in our honor. And several nights with no sign of boar left me wondering if roast pig would even be on the menu. Then one afternoon, our luck finally changed.
Okay. All the movement very slow. If you can shoot, just shoot. Okay. If he comes for you, just climb up of a tree. Okay. Be always close of a tree. Okay. 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 You go out with it.
Good. Good, you get it.
A little side note that you won't see is Wilford has a sixth sense about telling you what time it is. And I had to get up early in the morning one morning. I had to leave by 5 o'clock to go get on a plane while the guys were still there. And I didn't have an alarm. And Wilford said, I'll wake you. And I asked him if he had an alarm. He said, no, I don't, but I'll wake you. I'll get you up right at 5. And we were in 4 bunks, 2 cameramen, Brad, me, and Wilford. And I was listening to him snore. I was awake, and I didn't know what time it was. And all of a sudden, out of a deep snore, Wilford said, Gary, it's 5 o'clock. And I got up. It was 5 minutes after 5. Now, that's something that we didn't get to show you. I wish we'd been filming, but who would ever think to film somebody sleeping as a live alarm clock? Back to Argentina.
The next morning, Pablo, Wilford, and Joe Tilden from the Trophy Connection came across some fresh puma tracks. It was a large cat.
Una puma grande.
Yes.
¿Verdad?
Yes, grande. Look.
Sí.
Very. Look.
Sí, claro.
Look.
Ajá. Yeah.
Va corriendo.
Oh, sí. Fresco.
Es
Esta mañana.
Minutos.
Sí.
Sí. Sintió la camioneta.
Ajá.
Escuchó
Ajá.
la camioneta. Así que.
Ajá.
Pablo quickly released his dogs. They didn't spend much time discussing the issue either. One whiff of that cat and they were off to the races. Dogs have a thing for cats, even big ones. Wilford kept a pace, bad leg and all. This cat wasn't about to get away. I'm sure if he could, any dog would tell you that chasing cats is usually more fun than catching them, especially cats that can rip your belly open with one swipe.
Vaquero con la puma. Yeah. Sí. Pero hablo.
Within a mile, the puma was treed. All the racket had attracted other dogs from nearby ranchers who joined the action.
No mucho. Ya no puedo caminar, bueno.
Bueno, pero es muy fuerte. Anda bien. Rulo.
Qué bonito.
Bueno, agarramos el perro. Vení. Perrito, vení. Solito. Agarra. Ok.
¿Listo?
Yes. Muy buen tiro. Good shot. Very good shot. Congratulations. Look.
Buena puma.
Yes. Good puma. Good size.
Buenos pelos.
Yes.
Muy buenos pelos.
Look.
Sí, diente grande. ¿Cuántos años tiene él?
7 años.
Oh, sí.
Más o menos. 7, 8 años.
Muy buena cabeza.
Muchas gracias, pero.
Sí. Aquel es muy bueno también.
Sí.
Muy bueno. Este
También tiene muchos años él.
No, es
No.
mediano.
Blanco pelo aquí en la cara.
Claro.
Sí.
Mediano, pero no es viejo, es joven.
Posible 10.
8 años.
No,
más
sí.
o menos.
Ajá.
8 años. Este ya 12 años. Este es cachorro.
Ok. Vámonos.
Normalmente se...
Muchas lebres. Sí. Grande puma,
Sí,
Pablo, grande.
Grande puma. Vio cómo trabaja el perro blanco.
Ajá.
Work very well.
Sure.
He's very old.
Más buen perro, oldest.
Well, yes.
Oldest but
Old.
best.
Yes. Work very nice.
Do you love your dog?
Yes, I love.
I can see you do.
Down in Argentina, it was me and Brad and Will. Wilford took a single shot, Brad and I are waiting still. But I made some friends there, Pablo guided us with ease.
Muchas gracias.
We were treated like a royalty. They hit the mark, they aimed to please. Lord, if there's one tomorrow.
Bloodied but victorious, Pablo's fine hunting dogs were rewarded with a drink of water and some kind words.
Hey. Muy buen perro.
Viejo.
¿Te gustan sus perros?
Sí, los amo.
Sí.
Corto.
¿Su vida?
Es mi vida, sí.
Su vida.
Sí. Corto. Ven.
Usted tiene muy buena vida.
Sí.
Sí.
Me gusta.
En las pampas bonitas.
Me gusta mucho, sí.
Todo el tiempo en las pampas.
Sí.
No mucha gente.
De los 9 años,
Oh, sí.
no hay mejor lugar que el campo, que la pampa.
Ah,
Y cazando se conoce la mejor gente.
ajá.
Es el mejor deporte.
Es igual en mi tierra. Más gente en el rancho. Puro rancheros.
Exacto.
Sí.
Se conoce el interior de la gente.
Sí.
La parte humana.
Sí, humana.
En otros trabajos tal vez no,
sí.
pero en este sí.
Sí. Tiene mucho corazón.
Claro, hay que
Sí.
compartir cosas, hay que trabajar juntos.
Terrible.
Vení, corto. Vení.
Pesado. Ok,
Ok.
vámonos.
Vámonos.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you. All through
Wilford, Brad, and I had shared a wonderful experience with the folks here at Rancho Ferrari, but it was time to move on. We were flying eastward across Patagonia with Pablo and Herman to where the majestic Andes touched the sky. There we would stalk the stately red stag. The trip from Bahia Blanca to Bariloche, Argentina took the better part of the day. Wilford and I passed the time by playing cribbage, while Brad drifted off to sleep. His dreams filled, I'm sure, with great herds of red deer. As we neared this beautiful city, the wide, flat pampas gave way to towering Andean mountains. This alpine hamlet could easily be mistaken for a European ski village. We took it by storm.
Three Musketeers.
Too small? A little bit.
Too small?
Here's your size here, maybe.
See, I won what new maybe a higher crown.
Like that.
Yeah, see.
Hey.
From Bariloche, we drove with Pablo Rossi to a nearby hunting lodge and cattle ranch operated by friends. It was a wonderful spread, cradled in the cup of the mountains and blessed with some mighty fine Hereford stock. I'd heard these colorful gauchos were handy wranglers, and you had to envy their lifestyle. After storing our gear, we were treated to a feast fit for a king. Good hospitality is certainly alive and well in Argentina. Early the next morning, Brad and I hiked up the mountains in the dark, then waited for both the sun and the stag to appear.
Now I can see the glacier really good today. I never seen it that clear. He's coming out. Isn't that him right down there?
That's too much in the open. Let's double back and try to keep these trees. You see one?
There he was, one of the most beautiful sights I'd ever seen. A proud, full-grown red stag deer the size of an elk. There wasn't a lot of cover, so Brad and I had to take our time moving in. The magnificent animal was now shepherding his private harem less than 100 yards away.
I don't think we're going to get any closer. Let's do a caribou.
Well, we gotta go back into the gauchos anyway.
I've got to ride at noon with the gauchos.
We might as well give it a shot. All right, you want to be the front end of the red stag or the butt end of the red stag?
I'll be the front of the stag.
Okay, I'll be the butt.
Follow me.
All right. And when he starts to look, get your bow up, all the way up on your head, and give him one of those. Whoa.
You kind of watch, okay?
Okay.
Well, we'd fooled caribou before with this old trick, but I kind of doubted these clever stags would fall for it.
Get your horns up a little bit higher. Now give him a call. I thought you were going to shoot the stag. It was only running at 100 yards.
Yeah. I would have had I had a big gun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't given up that idea, by the way.
So we're going to go in and learn how to ride and rope now?
I guess.
Although we headed back to camp empty-handed, the morning wasn't a total loss. I was still here in South America, hiking through this spectacular country. By the time Brad and I made it back to camp, we'd built up quite a hunger, but it would be a while before we ate. Pablo, Herman, Artimo, and the rest were just beginning to prepare a traditional Argentine asado of roasted wild Russian boar. I decided to take a little siesta to shorten the wait. Hunters or no hunters, this was still a working ranch. Apparently, the gauchos had to cut some calves from the herd, so Wilford saddled up and joined them while the boar finished cooking. He's no greenhorn when it comes to wrangling, or singing for that matter, if last night's little fiesta was any indication.
Fraulein, you are my pretty Fraulein. Yeah, it's pretty song.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you got phrasing. You're not just a voice. You're a singer. Now, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. That was great. Do another one, do.
More than just a pretty face.
Yeah.
I'll sing you my favorite cowboy song if you want. Home on the Range.
Okay. Home on the Range?
Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
You know, they just sing notes and words. You know what I mean? It's like the reason you sing that is because it's real.
It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, there were calves to rope, and their mamas weren't too happy about it. I guess all that cowboying caught up with Wilford, but the rest of us were hungry enough to eat a hog, which is just what we set about doing. Man, was it delicious. For a while, not a word was spoken. All you could hear was our chewing and Wilford snoring.
Igualito, ¿viste?
Since we left home, we've done nothing but eat and drink beer for 2 weeks. Beef, pork,
Wild boar,
wild boar,
red stag,
red stag. Nothing but eat.
Armadillo.
Armadillo.
Oh yeah.
Our very first armadillo.
Did you like it?
I did like it. I don't, I think I'll have to shoot a few at home now. Wilford slept.
But not for long, he was about to be awakened by a soft, fuzzy alarm clock. Wilford finally did join us. I guess like the biblical wedding at Canaan, the best was saved for last.
No, they're dark meat.
For all the good food and company, one of the primary reasons we came to Argentina was to hunt for red stag. So Wilford, our guide Artimo, and I rode up the mountain into some of the prettiest country I'd ever seen. By the way, I can now tell you from experience that riding a horse isn't the preferred way to digest a big meal.
He's right below that red bush, about 30 or 40 yards, but he's coming down. You ought to be able to get up there and brace on a rock and shoot when he comes in the open. Big one. Wilford, at that range, you need to shoot about 6 inches high. Just right at the top of the back.
Huh? No, I didn't hit him. I come nowhere near him. Muy lejos. That was a big one. And he's still all right.
La bala picó abajo. Abajo del tiro.
See? See? Hold this a minute. That's a big buck.
Yeah.
Well, he's still up there. He's still up there.
Looking out over this endless wild land, I wouldn't mind staying.
Is this pretty enough? This is beautiful.
Artimo was an excellent guide. You could count on him finding great stags. But this time he outdid himself. Several miles above camp, he located a marvelous animal high across a ravine.
Probably not.
I thought I hit him.
I think you hit him with the first one. Shoulder.
The animal had not come out from behind the brush. I decided to go down and take a look.
Muy bueno ciervo. Muy grande.
Sí, para el mayor del ciervo que hay era lindo.
Ajá.
Porque más no hay de muy grande.
There he comes out.
I'd spooked out the stag. He wasn't 40 yards away, but he had his eye on me. This time, Wilford didn't miss.
Entró al otro campo. Qué lástima. No. No pegó.
En la tierra.
En la tierra.
Sí. And I ain't got no more bullets. No más.
¿Qué lo tiró? Hace fue. Él ya tendría que volver porque a lo mejor se va a ir adentro.
Did he get him with an arrow?
Yep.
Well, he's gonna die.
Qué lástima.
Got up close enough to fire your arrow at him.
Yeah.
Isn't this lovely?
That lake out there? Golly.
I don't suppose there's any big old fish in there.
Might have to give a big old trout a try. You can go up there and pick up your stag. After Wilford shot the red stag and I went down and slipped behind everything and actually put an arrow into it, the stag made it over to a fence, which you'll see, and he jumped the fence. And right then our guide said, no, we can't go. Private property. So we had to go back to camp, and our outfitter was able to go make a phone call to the neighbor and actually go with his horse and his little dog and go over to the neighbor's ranch and collect the stag, which then we ate the backstrap, all us Americans, right there in Argentina at the lodge.
After hunting puma, wild Russian boar, and red stag in Argentina, fly fishing was a perfect way to end this South American adventure.
When you're in some place like Switzerland, for me, I might burst into a song from the sound. The hills are alive with the sound of music. But for Wilford, where we were in this majestic place, sitting on his horse, he broke into a Stephen Vincent Benet poem, and here it is.
This country makes me think of where we live, America, which is really important to me. I have a friend, actor friend named David Huddleston, who introduced me to a lot of American literature. Do you know David?
I know David. Yeah, it was in Santa Fe.
Yeah, fine guy. And he recited a poem for me one time that touched my heart. It seemed to be the story of my life and people like me, and your life and people like you. And it's written by Stephen Vincent Benet, and it goes like this. My father was a mountaineer, his fist like a knotty hammer, quick on his feet as a running deer, and spoke with a Yankee stammer. And my mother, she was merry and brave, and so she came to her labor with a tall green fir for a doctor grave and a stream for a comforting neighbor. And some are wrapped in the linen fine, and some like a godling scion. But I was cradled in twigs of pine on the skin of a mountain lion, and some remember a white starched lap and a ewer with silver handles. I remember a coonskin cap and the smell of bayberry candles, and the cabin logs and the bark still rough, and my mother who laughed at trifles, and the long, lank visitors brown as snuff with their straight squirrel rifles. I can hear them dance now like a foggy song through the deepest one of my slumbers, and the fiddles squeaking the boots along, and my father calling the numbers, and the quick feet shaking the puncheon floor, and the dust going up to the ceiling, and the dried herbs rattling above the door with the fiddle squeaking and squealing. There are children lucky from dawn till dusk. Never one quite so lucky. I cut my teeth on the money musk in the bloody ground of Kentucky. And then I grew tall as the Indian corn, and my father had little to lend me, but he did give me his great old powder horn and his woodsman's skill to befriend me.
With a leather shirt to cover my back and a redskin nose to unravel each forest sign, I carried my pack as far as a scout would travel. I lost my boyhood and found my wife, a girl like a Salem clipper, a woman straight as a hunting knife, with eyes as bright as the dipper. We cleared our camp where the buffalo feed. Unheard of streams were our flagons. And I sowed my sons like the apple seed on the trail of the western wagons. They were right tight boys, never sulky or slow, a fruitful, a goodly muster. The eldest died at the Alamo. The youngest fell with Custer. The letter that told it burned my hand, yet we smiled and said, so be it. But I could not live when they fenced this land, for it broke my heart to see it. I saddled a red unbroken colt and rode him into the day there. And he threw me down like a thunderbolt and rolled on me as I lay there. The hunter's whistle hummed in my ear as these city men tried to move me, and I died in my boots like a pioneer, with a whole wide sky above me. Now I lie in the heart of fat black soil, like the seed of a prairie thistle. It has washed my bones with honey and oil, and picked them clean as a whistle. And as my youth returns, like the rains of spring, and my sons, like the wild geese flying, and I lie and hear the meadowlark sing, and have much content in my dying. Go play with the towns you have built of blocks, the towns where you would have bound me. I sleep in the ground like a tired fox, and the buffalo have found me. To my dear friend Wilford Brimley, rest in peace.